Most people think the move itself is the expensive part, the truck, the flights, the logistics. But here's what nobody actually talks about. The real money mistake happens before you ever pack a single box. If you're living in a high-cost city right now, watching your rent climb every year and wondering where your savings are going, and Pittsburgh has been on your radar, this video is going to save you thousands of dollars and a lot of painful trial and error. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to pull off this move without draining your bank account, from the moment that you decide to go all the way to the day that you get your keys. The strategy matters more than you think. Let's get into it. Here's something that surprises almost every buyer that I work with on relocation. The biggest financial lever in this entire move is not which moving company that you hire. It's not even which Pittsburgh neighborhood that you pick. It's the timing of when you sell your current home versus when you buy here. Get that right, and you can come out of this move with tens of thousands of dollars more in your pocket than someone who just winged it. I have been working in Western Pennsylvania real estate for years, helping families move from high-cost markets into the Pittsburgh area, across Allegheny, Washington, Beaver, and Butler counties. And the pattern that I see over and over is clear. Buyers who plan their timeline end up with more money. Buyers who rush it end up making emotional decisions on both sides of the transaction and paying for it. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with clients who are relocating from places like California or New York, and the ones who slowed down and followed a plan walked away with significantly more money in their pocket than the ones who tried to rush the process. And what I have found is that when buyers give themselves the time to plan and think through their decisions, they feel more confident, more in control, and ultimately much happier with the outcome on both sides of the move. So here's the key thing to understand. According to the National Association of Realtors, the spring market, roughly March through June, is when homes sell fastest and for the most money in most cities across the country. If you are selling in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, or Boston, listing in that spring window means that you're catching buyers at peak demand. You sell high. Interestingly enough, in Pittsburgh, I've said this for years, the spring market really starts around February 1st, especially if we have a mild winter. It's like clockwork. Every year, that's when we see buyer calls pick up and more homeowners start reaching out about selling. Now, here is where Pittsburgh helps you. According to Redfin data from early 2026, Pittsburgh's median home price sale is sitting around $230,000 to $250,000. That is a fraction of what you would pay in most coastal cities. The gap between what you sell for in a high-cost market and what you buy for in Pittsburgh is called your equity spread, and that spread can genuinely change your financial life. What does a smart timeline actually look like? Start preparing for your current home for sale about 6 months before your target move date. That gives you enough runway to list during peak season, close the sale, and then search in Pittsburgh without panicking. The buyers who get burned are the ones who try to do everything at once with no cushion and end up making rushed decisions that they regret on both ends. The big takeaway here, treat the timing of your move like a financial decision, not just a logistics problem. That mindset alone will save you more money than almost anything else on this list. So timing is locked in. Now, before you even think about opening Zillow, there's a financial checklist that you need to go through. Being prepared in Pittsburgh is completely different from showing up and figuring it out as you go. Think of this like a pre-flight checklist. A plane does not take off without running through it first. Neither should your relocation. First, nail down your actual moving costs, and I mean all of them, not just the truck. According to Move Buddha, a long-distance move to Pittsburgh from a major metro runs $4,500 to $9,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom home when you use full-service movers. If you have a larger 4-bedroom home, that number can reach $14,000 or more, depending on how far you're going and how much you have. That's a real cost, and it needs to be in your plan before you start making offers on homes. Second, get pre-approved for a mortgage early. I say this a lot, and I mean it every time. Pittsburgh's desirable neighborhoods move fast. Well-priced homes can get multiple offers within days of listing. Showing up without a pre-approval is like showing up to a job interview without a resume. It just does not work. In my own experience working with relocating buyers, the ones who are fully pre-approved before they even start looking are always in a stronger position. When the right home hits the market, they're ready to move, not scrambling to catch up. And I've seen the opposite too. Buyers fall in love with the home, but because they weren't prepared, they missed it. That's a tough position to be in, especially when you're moving from out of state. And I always recommend working with a local lender who understands understands Pennsylvania's transfer taxes and how they differ between the city of Pittsburgh and the surrounding suburbs. That's one of those details that can impact your numbers more than people expect, and having the right lender helps you go into this with a clear, accurate picture from the start. Third, understand Pennsylvania's tax structure before you commit to a budget. Pennsylvania has a flat state income tax of 3.07%, which is lower than most high-cost states. But here is what usually surprises people. There's also a local earned income tax that varies by municipality. In the Pittsburgh city itself, the local tax rate is 3%, so your combined total is just over 6%. In most suburbs around the city, that drops to 1%, and your combined total is around 4%. Knowing which municipality you're landing in helps you calculate your real monthly take-home before you commit to a mortgage payment. And here's one more tax detail that most relocation videos skip completely. Pennsylvania has a transfer tax at closing. In the city of Pittsburgh, the total is 5%, typically split 2.5% between the buyer and the seller. In suburban communities, it drops to 2%, split evenly at 1%. So on a $240,000 home, the difference between buying in the city versus a suburb can save you $3,600 to $4,800 in closing costs right there. That's a real number when you're factoring in when you're deciding where you're going to land. Fourth, if you're selling a home before you move, know your net proceeds. This is something I walk through with my clients very carefully because the number that they think that they're walking away with is often not the number that actually hits their bank account. Not your sales price, your actual number after agent commissions, transfer taxes, and your remaining mortgage and closing costs. A lot of sellers anchor on the sales price and then feel blindsided when the wire comes through and it's less than expected. Know your real number before you make any plans around it. When we break it down together ahead of time, there's no surprises, and that makes the entire move feel a lot more controlled and less stressful. I also work very closely with the listing agent on the home that you're moving from so that we can coordinate closing dates, move-in timing, and any other critical details to make that move and that transition as smooth as possible. Last one, keep a cash cushion completely separate from your down payment. First-year home ownership costs, including repairs and maintenance and unexpected upgrades, run around 1% to 3% of the home's value. So on a $240,000 home, that's $2,400 to $7,200 reserve on top of everything else. Especially with Pittsburgh's older housing stock, having that buffer keeps you from being financially stressed the moment that something needs attention after closing. Okay, timing is set, finances are in order. Now let's talk about the question that trips up most relocating buyers: where actually in Western Pennsylvania should you actually live? Here's something that people get wrong all the time. They think of Pittsburgh as one thing, but Western Pennsylvania is made up of really different communities, each with its own feel, price point, school district, and lifestyle. Picking the right county is not just a matter of preference, it's a financial one. And as we just covered, where you land can actually change what you pay at closing. Let me walk you through the 4 counties that my team works in most often because each one attracts a different kind of buyer. Allegheny County is the core of the region. Pittsburgh proper sits here along with communities like Mount Lebanon, Bethel Park, Fox Chapel, and Ross Township. According to local MLS data, median prices range from the low 200s in some inner ring communities to $700,000 and beyond in premium spots like Fox Chapel and Sewickley. If you want city access, major hospitals, universities, and the widest range of housing options, Allegheny County gives you all of that. The trade-off is that the most popular spots move fast and attract competing offers. Washington County is south of Pittsburgh and honestly one of the most underrated counties in the entire region. In 2026, it is also one of the fastest growing. According to Western Pennsylvania MLS data, median prices here are noticeably lower than compared to Allegheny County homes and typically get more square footage for the same dollar. Communities like Peters Township and Canonsburg have strong schools, a real sense of community, and actual infrastructure investment underway right now. If you're a family or a move-up buyer looking to stretch your budget without sacrificing quality, Washington County is worth a serious look. Beaver County is to the northwest of the city and is one of the most affordable entry points in the whole Pittsburgh metro. According to Redfin, median prices there are among the lowest in Western Pennsylvania. Towns like Beaver and Ambridge have been quietly attracting buyers who were priced out of Allegheny County. If you are a first-time buyer who wants to own real property at a price that actually works on one income, Beaver County is worth exploring. Butler County is north of Pittsburgh, and it has become the region's premier northern growth corridor. Newer construction, good schools, lower taxes than many Allegheny County communities, and easy access to the city have made places like Cranberry Township really popular with remote workers and occasional commuters. If you want that clean, spacious suburban feel with room to grow, Butler County delivers. And here's my honest advice for every relocating buyer. Don't pick a county based on the name. Pick it based on your daily life. Where are you going to work? Where are your kids going to school? How much driving can you realistically handle every week? Those 3 questions will get you the right answer faster than any list I can give you. I've worked with buyers who originally had their heart set on one area, but once we really talked through their daily routine, we ended up finding a completely different location that fit their lifestyle better, and they were so much happier because of it. That's why I always say this isn't just about buying a house, it's about making sure that your day-to-day life actually works once you get here. Okay, let me pause here because we're getting to the part that honestly makes or breaks the whole relocation experience. But before we go there, if you are seriously thinking about making this move, I've put together a completely free Pittsburgh relocation guide. It covers top employers, school districts, neighborhood breakdowns, and real cost of living numbers. You can download it in the description and the top pinned comment. It's totally free. For those who are new here, I'm Diane McConaghy. I am a Pittsburgh-based realtor and relocation specialist. My team works with buyers and sellers every day throughout Allegheny, Washington, Beaver, and Butler counties. We want your move to make sense financially and feel right for your life. You've got the timing down, your finances are prepped, you've picked your county. Now, let's talk about how to actually shop for and buy a Pittsburgh home from hundreds or thousands of miles away. Here's the reality of buying from far away. It's absolutely doable. People do it successfully all the time, but done the wrong way, it costs you real money and real stress. The first thing to get right is your mindset. Treat the remote search like a job. Set specific times to review listings. Schedule virtual tours on a regular cadence. Research neighborhoods the same way that you would research a major financial decision. Buyers who casually browse and then try to rush a decision when they finally visit almost always ends up overpaying or picking the wrong house. Virtual tours have gotten really good. Most quality Pittsburgh listings now include 3D walkthroughs, video tours, and detailed photos. But here's what those tools still cannot show you. What the street actually feels like. The noise level on a Tuesday morning. The slope of the backyard. Whether the neighbors take care of their homes. That is why even in a fully remote purchase, I always recommend at least one in-person visit before you finalize anything. Make that visit count. Don't come in for a weekend and try to see 20 houses in 2 days. Come for 3 to 5 days. Have a short list of 6 to 10 homes that you've already fully vetted virtually. Use that time to visit the neighborhoods at different hours, drive your actual commute routes, and get a real feel for the communities that you're considering. One focused trip like that is worth more than 3 casual weekends. Your agent is your most important asset in this process. When I'm working with a relocation client, I become their eyes and ears on the ground. I'm walking through homes, taking video of every nook and cranny and pointing out things that the camera doesn't show, and giving them honest feedback so that they can make confident decisions, even from hundreds or thousands of miles away. That level of detail matters, especially in Pittsburgh, where homes can vary a lot depending on age, condition, and location. Out-of-state buyers who work with a local agent who genuinely knows the neighborhoods, the pricing patterns, and the inspection quirks of Pittsburgh's older housing stock close more successfully and with fewer surprises. Ask your agent to pull recent sold data and days on market for numbers for every neighborhood that you're targeting. That data tells you whether you need to move fast or whether you have time to negotiate. It's free information, and it can be the difference between winning a home and missing it. Do not skip the home inspection. I've had inspections uncover things that saved my clients thousands of dollars or gave them the ability to renegotiate or even walk away before it became a bigger issue. That small upfront cost can protect you in a really big way. This is a non-negotiable, especially in Pittsburgh, where a big chunk of the housing stock is older. A good inspection runs $350 to $500 and can surface issues that become negotiating leverage or legitimate reasons to walk away. Skipping it to save a few $100s on a $240,000 purchase is not a trade worth making. You've got the keys, now what? Here's what I tell every client after closing, and it's different advice than most people expect. First 30 days, don't redecorate. I've actually had clients call me after closing excited to start making changes right away, and I always tell them the same thing. Slow down and live in the home first. Almost every time they come back later and say that they're glad that they waited because how they thought that they would use the space changed once they were actually living in it. Don't renovate. Just live in it. Walk through the home in the morning, in the evening, and on weekends. Figure out how you actually use the space before you start spending money changing it. I have seen buyer after buyer spend thousands in the first month on updates that they later regretted because they moved too fast. Give yourself time to understand the home before you start modifying it. That first month is also when you set up your practical systems. Find your grocery stores, learn your main routes, line up local service providers for snow removal, HVAC, and anything that you know is coming maintenance-wise. If you're coming from a warmer client, this is especially important. A Pittsburgh winter will arrive whether you're ready for it or not. One admin task to knock out immediately, your driver's license. According to PennDOT, Pennsylvania law requires new residents to transfer their out-of-state licenses within 60 days of establishing residency. That window moves faster than you think when you're settling in. Put it on your calendar in a week. Missing it means fines, and that's a totally avoidable headache. Days 30 to 60, start exploring beyond your immediate block. Each of the 4 counties has its own personality, and there is genuinely fun stuff to discover in all of them. Getting familiar with your surrounding area is what turns a new place into your place. During this window, don't miss the homestead exclusion. This is a program through your county assessment office that can reduce your assessed property value for school district taxes, which directly lowers your annual bill. In Allegheny County, the deadline to apply is March 31st each year. So if you close in the fall or winter, that deadline comes up fast. Make a note of it right now so it does not slip you by. Days 60 to 90, your goal is community. One of the things that I hear most from people who relocate here is how welcoming Pittsburgh and the surrounding communities really are. The clients who get involved early, whether it's neighbors, local events, or just getting out and exploring, are the ones who truly feel at home the fastest. I know that sounds soft compared to the financial stuff, but it is just as important. People who build real social connections in their new city in those first 3 months stay and feel great about their decision. People who do not often start second guessing themselves around month 4 or 5. Pittsburgh and the communities around it in Allegheny, Washington, Beaver, and Butler counties have a genuine warmth and neighborly feel that most newcomers comment on immediately. Lean into it. Introduce yourself. Show up. It makes a bigger difference than people expect. And one last thing, review your homeowner's insurance. Many new homeowners skip this, especially after a big move. Property values and replacement costs shift. Make sure that your coverage accurately reflects your home and its current value. It's a quick check that protects everything that you just worked so hard to build. All right, here's everything in one place. Relocating to Pittsburgh from a high-cost city is one of the smartest financial moves that you can make in 2026. But the difference between a smooth landing and a stressful one is having a real strategy. Sell at the right time using the spring market to maximize your equity spread. Run your full financial checklist before you shop, including moving costs, your real net proceeds, and how transfer taxes and local income taxes vary by municipality. Pick your county based on your actual daily life, not just the name. Learn how to shop remotely with focus and a great local agent. And have a clear plan for the first 90 days, including the 60-day driver's license deadline, the homestead exclusion application, and building real community roots before month 3 is over. If this was helpful, give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps other people in the same situation find this information when they need it. And if you're seriously thinking about making this move, reach out to me directly. My contact information is right below this video. Whether you're just starting to research, ready to sell your current home, or already have a move on the date of the calendar, my team and I work with buyers and sellers every day throughout Allegheny, Washington, Beaver, and Butler counties. We will help you build a plan that makes this work for your life and for your wallet. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just a move, it's a major life transition, and having the right strategy and the right people in your corner makes all the difference. Grab the free Pittsburgh Relocation guide in the description too. Neighborhood breakdowns, real cost of living numbers, top employers, and everything most newcomers wish they had known before they made the move. Completely free. And when you're ready for more, watch my next video, The Truth About the Cost of Living in Pennsylvania for 2026. I break down exactly what your money gets you here, line by line, so that you can see why so many people from high-cost cities are choosing to call Pittsburgh home. I'm Diane McConaghy, your Pittsburgh full-time realtor and relocation guide, and I'll see you in the next one.